This is a Boom Media production. Welcome to Unbuttoned, the podcast that takes you beyond the seams of business ownership, motherhood, and the unattainable pursuit of perfection. Join us, Elizabeth and Lauren, your hosts and boutique founders, as we share the unfiltered reality behind the scenes of entrepreneurship and everyday life.
Get ready as we unpack the highs, lows, and everything in between. From starting and growing a boutique to the messy adventure of raising a family, we understand the pressures of trying to balance it all.
So grab your favorite outfit, brew a cup of coffee, or perhaps something stronger, and join us for candid conversations, insightful tips, and plenty of laughs along the way. This is Unbuttoned, where authenticity is always in style.
Action!
Oh my God, you scared me.
Guys,
Okay.
welcome back. It's a new year.
It's 2025.
2025, which is so weird. I turned 35 this year.
I paused because I was like, how old do I turn? But
Yeah.
sorry, you're so old. I turned 34.
I know. I remember like in my 20s when people would say that they were 35, I was like, oh, wow, they're like mature.
They're like grown.
They're grown.
And I mean, now you're considered basically geriatric in the
Pregnancy
OB world. So.
Yeah. I'm not pregnant, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, wait, we should clarify.
So yeah, it's a new year, and we thought for our first episode of the new year, we would just kind of catch up with you guys on post-holiday and kind of talk about some of our like intentions for the year and things we're saying bye to in 2025.
I feel like for me, more so than like making a like 2025 goal. I mean, obviously I'm like gonna, make some goals, but like more so things I'm saying bye to, more so things that like I'm gonna let go of or, whatnot.
Yeah. First of all, how was your break?
It felt like a lot of days.
It felt like
It was
really
really
long.
good, but it actually felt really long. It was good. We went to.
Why did it feel longer this year? Was it longer?
No,
Well, I guess it was with our snow days that we had after, but like even just the 2 weeks felt like maybe because both of us took a trip. So
Yeah.
that might have made it feel a little bit longer because we were in different places. But I agree, it felt long.
Yeah, it did.
It felt long. And we also both were coming off the heels of kids being sick for a solid month.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
also
what
didn't help.
my kids were sick for a solid month, and then we got to vacation, and my oldest started throwing up.
Yeah.
But it was a good break. It was a nice little reset. How about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, it was good. I feel the same way. It was like long but great.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the most like disconnected I've been ever, really. Even like, I mean, when I wasn't working, obviously, but like I even was thinking about it when we were on our trip, like even when I wasn't working a job and I was just like blogging and stuff, like I always felt this pressure to be like posting something every day, like while we were on the trip, posting my outfit, posting like something. And like I wasn't completely like off the grid, but like I took that pressure off myself for the first time like ever.
Yeah.
And my husband did the same thing, which he has always had to work like every single day on every trip we've ever taken. So we both were able to like just agree that we were going to really try to do that and hold ourselves accountable. And it actually, we did for the most part. It was nice
That's great.
for like a solid 9 days, which felt like a really, really long time. I was so excited to get back to work, but it also felt really good. I feel like that's so necessary sometimes, especially after the holiday season we had here. It was a whirlwind, and I feel like we all needed like a cleanse.
Totally.
A cleanse of the mind.
Totally. And I was
And the
just,
stress.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. I heard you. It's that I was sitting here this whole time thinking about where to look because we don't normally sit like this.
I know. I'm like, do we look in the camera? Do
and
we
I
look
don't
at each
know where
other?
to look. And when you were talking, you were looking somewhere, and I'm like, where is she looking?
We
Where is she
actually
looking?
filmed a reel
And I'm
before
like, I
this,
don't
and we were
know
like,
where to
ooh, that
look.
lighting's good. Let's just keep it like this.
Yeah,
for the
which I kind of like it,
podcast.
but I was so thrown off because I'm like, you're talking, so like the respectful thing to do is look at you, but I'm like, I feel like my neck. I'm like, okay, sorry, ADD moment, but I was like,
Seriously.
but I was stressed out about where to look. So, anyways,
I hope you guys had a good break.
yeah,
though.
all that to say, hope everybody had a good
If
break.
you got a break, I mean, I feel like
Yeah. We then reconnected at the end of break, and we all went to Mad River. If you're local, that's like, the little like ski hills. And
you can't even call it like a.
yeah, I don't.
It's hills.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, let's be very clear here.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I snowboarded for the first time in 8 years, and I was bruised and battered.
Yeah, we
I
did not do well.
I did okay. But
I
did
never
not
had
do
a bad
great.
wipeout. Tracy was the only one that like actually stayed on her feet the entire time, which of course she did.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a bad wipeout that nobody saw when I was at the bottom of the hill, and I was basically dying up there with a broken arm, and nobody came for me.
Okay, well, I thought I was about to be care flighted at the same time, so.
So we had a really good time.
No,
I'm just joking. It was actually really fun.
Yeah,
We were
it
going to
was
make
fun.
vision boards. We didn't get to that. And then we were going to make a bingo card. We also didn't get to that.
Yeah, we're going to make this little bingo card together that had like all these different goals on it for the year.
Which I still think we should do.
I still think we should do, but we didn't do it. And we just made like the outline of the grid. So the next morning we were laughing. We were like, the possibilities are endless, guys.
We got a whole bunch of free cards.
the sky's the
The
limit.
sky's the limit. We got free spaces left and right. We can do whatever we want around here. But no, we were saying like the idea of a vision board this year, the idea of a bingo board instead of a vision board this year might be fun because we were like,
We can
It's-
actually check things off.
yeah, and it's more so just like not like I'm gonna start working out this year. It's more so like goals we want to hit and this and that. And I'm like, that's a fun approach to the new
Yeah.
year. So, anyways, we will get to that. And
What's one of your goals this year?
I want to be better organized with my time this
With
year.
your time, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know really. I can't tell you exactly what that means just yet.
Yeah.
But I know that like I need to be better about organizing my time and using
And
my
like
time
having
wisely.
boundaries with
and-
your time.
Yeah. And a lot of just using my time wisely.
Yeah.
And, whatnot. But that may mean something different in January than it does in March.
Right.
But that's a goal of mine is use my time wisely.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same. I feel like for me, more so like just taking better care of myself. Not
Yeah.
necessarily like getting to the gym and working out and all that kind of stuff, but just like I feel like especially toward the end of the year last year, it was just such a hustle and such a grind that like I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
I wasn't even eating enough. Like I wasn't drinking water. I was like drinking a lot, and I just like need to be better about making sure that I'm not saying no to those like basic self needs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it sounds ridiculous, but it's easy to do when you're like so busy.
Oh, totally.
And like we have days here where we get so busy, it's like 4:00 and we're like, oh my God, I haven't had a sip of water and we haven't eaten lunch. Like I want to be better about just making sure I'm taking better care of myself.
I think that's a really good one.
Cause then like, I feel like that's when burnout comes, like when your body is telling you like that you're like exhausted and you feel like shit.
Yeah.
That's when like the creativity turns off and like you just want to sleep. So I want to be better about that. And we've talked about this, like working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Like finding, just continuing to refine what that means for us in the office as we grow and things change and we go through another season, which we were talking yesterday. It's really crazy to think back on like where we were this time last year. It feels like decades ago because so much has changed and we've learned so much since then. I'm really excited to like have another year under our belt of like learning and wisdom and use that this year. We go to market soon, which
I can't
we're very
wait.
excited about.
I do agree. I feel like using last year's what we learned and really putting it into play this year, it will be good for
I feel
us.
like
but-
last year was like, if I had to like say one word to describe
that's a
our
fun
year
game.
last year, I
What would
feel
you say?
like it was like knowledge, like learning. Like we learned so much last year and we really pushed ourselves to like learn a lot and test and try a lot of different things. Not everything was a raging success by any means, but like I'm proud of how we
Yeah, that's a good one.
really like we learned so much last year. Not all good, but if you don't try, you don't learn, obviously. I feel like it was a learning year and now I'm excited. I feel like we're all really excited to apply what we learned to like a full new year.
Yeah, my word was going to be a year of collection. Like we collected different learning pieces. We collected different data. We collected different thoughts. Like we were just soaking up like a sponge
Yeah, we really were.
everything that we could to be able to in 2025 put a lot into motion. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I feel good
same.
about now. Like let's,
Same.
whatever. But yeah, that's a good one. What would you, if you wanted to pick a word that you'd want your 2025, I can't even say it.
2025?
2025. Look at me. 2025 to encapsulate. Wow, that sounded smart. What would it be?
I guess like the first word that comes to mind is abundance. Like not just at work, but also personally and like.
Did you
with
say
my
abundance
kids.
because I said encapsulate and you were trying to up me with a word?
No,
It felt like you were trying to outsmart me right there.
no, but I feel like last year it was like we learned a lot. This year we're going to apply it and we're going to have more learnings. Of course, we always will.
Okay.
But also I feel like we are in a really good place. We have a lot of new tools in our belt, and I think that it's going to make this year very abundant for us.
Okay.
And
like
then
that.
setting boundaries with my time and my peace, I feel like that will make my time with my kids more abundant.
I completely agree. I think I think that's really valid.
Yeah.
I love, let me say
hope.
2 takeaways.
Yeah.
Love it. Love abundance.
Yeah.
Now that you describe it, I'm like, I'm into that.
Yeah.
2, I just decided right here and now that I hate the word boundaries for some reason. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, it sounds so harsh, but like you're just doing what you know you should be doing. But like boundaries sounds harsh. I don't know why.
I feel like
Why is that like?
Well, you just brought up something that I remember from when we talked with Amanda a couple episodes ago. And then also Whitney Abraham was saying this the other day on something on stories. I can't remember, which if you don't follow her, she's so great.
Oh, she's so great.
But like the idea of not thinking about like work and home life as a hard boundary.
Yeah.
And learning to find out how they can live like in harmony.
Yeah,
Like,
when
what was
Amanda
the-
said
what
that,
was
she
the-
said that like I've just learned
she called
that
it work-life harmony.
work-life
didn't she?
harmony instead of
Yeah.
work-life balance or work-life boundaries. She said work-life harmony. Work-life harmony. And remember, I think I said right to her, I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in my mind, boundaries sounds so harsh.
Yeah.
Like I don't, like I'm just thinking, I'm like, I wouldn't want it to come across to like Sav or something. I'm like, oh, that's my boundary. You're not calling me. It's like,
No.
hey, if you have something to say it. Like I may or may not answer in that moment, but I'm like, that's just finding the harmony.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
I'm like, why? I don't know.
Yeah.
That just, I don't know why. So I'm going to go with, okay, abundance. I like that. But I'm
Yeah.
going to go with organized.
I like it.
Like I envision our 2025. We've learned so much in 2024. We are taking those, we're applying them in a more organized, strategic fashion.
Yeah.
And from that, hoping to see the abundance that comes from it.
Yeah, I feel like that's another really big goal for us. Like last year was a lot. We learned a lot. We grew a lot, all personally and professionally. But at the end of the holiday season, we all kind of came together and said, like, all right, we got to get like organized.
Yeah.
Like not just like, you know,
Yeah.
clothes organized in the back, but like
No, just
we
like
need
in
like
general organized.
like a better
System.
Yeah,
Which
So
is
that's a
great.
big
And
one.
that's all part of learning. I mean, for the first, however long, it was just you and I. And so we were able to be.
Yeah.
That we didn't need to be as like quote unquote organized because it wouldn't have really worked that
Right.
way. And then now we're a team of 4, and this year, like we said, was a year all about learning. And there was, if we couldn't really put any true systems in place yet because we were learning what was going to work and not.
Yeah.
So now we're just going to take that and apply it.
Yeah.
And hopefully that brings, look at that, full circle. Hopefully that brings us abundance.
I love it.
Oh my God, look at us. So grown.
What are
Because we're turning 35. We're so wise now.
Don't remind me.
Well, what should we do for your birthday this year?
I don't know. I never get like that excited about my birthday.
Okay, I'm kind of excited about it though. This is our chance to dress up like grannies, like you and Sav said. This is the geriatric year.
This is
And
the
go out.
geriatric year.
Done. I'm already planning it in my mind.
Yeah, that would actually be really
You know
fun.
what we should get? Have you seen those blow up like there's like strobe lights and like blow up clubs that you can put outside, and we should all dress as grannies in the club.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God, my wheels are turning. Someone note that down. We're doing that.
So we're doing grannies for my birthday this year since I'm turning 35.
And we're gonna order a like blow up club. I'll show you right after this what I'm talking about. This is gonna be so epic.
Oh my gosh,
Good
Sam the
idea.
DJ.
Okay,
That's amazing.
I love that. Last year for Elizabeth's birthday, we dressed up as
did we
Elizabeth.
do?
What eras?
Oh my God, that
Different
was
eras
so
of Elizabeth.
funny.
And so this year we're going to dress up as her geriatric year, apparently.
Oh my gosh, that was so hysterical. I forgot about that for a second.
Everyone was so good, too.
It was so good. There were like how many people? 15 people, and every single person.
Allie's was so good because I'm pretty sure I had that exact outfit.
Yeah, Allie was college me, and she
Laura
nailed
was good. Your
it.
mom's was really funny.
My mom
She was
pregnant
you.
me.
She was carrying around a bag of like Skittles or something.
Yes.
I was like, that was perfect.
And she
Your
was going,
sister-
Mother,
Yeah, she's like,
when's it gonna stop?
I'm so tired, mother. And then your sister was great. She came as
Pageant
you.
queen me in
And
a gown.
She was in a full blown gown that had like basically like hula hoops inside, and she drove all the way from Dayton in this gown. She's a hoop.
And then played pickleball in the gown and wiped out a few times, and the skirt was like
It was
up in the air.
so good. It was so
Sav
good.
was jail me.
Yeah, that was great.
Lauren was
Instagram
influencer
you.
me.
Yeah.
What was Delaney was like late night me. She
Yeah,
was
she had
like
the robot with the
reading
book and the glasses.
a glass of wine.
Allison was try on you. She had the tag on her.
It was so funny.
What was Laura? Why am I forgetting? Because hers was really good too.
It was that she recreated that picture of me and my sisters when I had like a straight afro.
Oh, yes. She was like younger years you.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
That was really good. I can't wait to bring pickleball summer back.
Oh, me too. I'm dying for
Sounds
it. But
amazing.
okay, sorry. Back on topic because we haven't talked in so long on the podcast.
I know.
I'm like,
what are some things you want to say no to this year?
oh, okay.
Saying goodbye to in 2025.
Yeah, it's not so much saying no again, but like saying goodbye to not using my time wisely. Saying goodbye to, I've decided I'm going to try this. Keeping my phone next to my bedside at night because I'm going to start plugging it in the bathroom.
Yeah, I like that
Because
idea.
I notice I will roll over at any thought as I'm trying to fall asleep and either like Google it, write it down, text somebody, this or that. Like I just, without
It's hard
a
to have
thought, reach for my
self-control when
phone.
it's right next to you.
Totally. And two benefits of that. I'm like, okay, I can stop reaching for it when I'm supposed to be going to bed. And I can maybe start getting my butt out of bed.
Yeah.
Because when my alarm goes off, I will have to get up out of bed to get it. And I can
That
stop dragging
does
my feet.
work, but I will say, like I told you in college, I had my alarm clock, my old school alarm clock,
Yeah.
like on my dresser, so I had to get up. But there were definitely mornings where I'd like get up and snooze it and lay right back down. So you have to make
that's
sure you
the
don't
trouble.
do that.
I need to make sure I don't do that. And I say this and like,
Yeah.
by next week I'll probably be off the system.
No, it is.
But I'm going to try to stick
helpful,
with
though.
it.
Yeah.
So saying no to mindless scrolling on my phone at night because it's just ridiculous and stupid.
You know that, like, as we're talking about this, I'm like, maybe I should get an old school alarm clock. That way I can truly just like put my phone away at night and then I'm not tempted to ever look at it.
Yeah, why don't you just turn the alarm on your phone in the other room?
Yeah, but then I feel like I'll just like start scrolling in the morning. Like that's one of my things. I lay in bed for too long in the morning on my phone and I don't get going. Like I almost feel like I need to have an alarm clock and just get in the shower, like right when I wake up.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Okay.
I feel like that would get me going a lot faster because a lot of times I just lay there, which I do like to lay there with William. He always comes down in my bed. But then I feel like I lay there a little too long sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I feel behind and rushed and stuff.
Okay. That's a good one.
I might do that actually. I feel like Peter could benefit from that too.
Yeah, well, my husband's an early riser. He's one of those people, the alarm goes off, he gets up at the first ring of it. And I'm like,
Isn't that
oh
nice?
my God, must be nice. I don't even know, I don't think my body would function like that.
No.
But let's see, what else am I saying goodbye to? I'm saying goodbye to second guessing myself. Like,
That's a really good one.
I feel like I need to just go with what I decide and be confident in it and
I feel like
be okay
everyone
if
can
it
probably relate
doesn't-
to that a little bit, like on some level, whether it be work or parenting or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I'm not just even saying work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
parenting, this and that. Like, I feel like social media has made it so hard to parent sometimes because you're just playing this game of like, am I doing enough? Am I doing this, that?
Yeah.
You know, and just like being okay with what decisions I make and being confident in them and they are what they are.
Without like the comparison aspect of what other people are doing or whatever. Yeah, that's a good one.
Those like my main ones. I also don't want to try to like overstretch my nose or my goals because I'm like, I want to be realistic. Mm-hmm. And I know that I'm not going to be doing 17 million different things. And, you know, so I would honestly say that's it. I'm going to be realistic this year.
I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like, I mean, there's like a lot of things, but I'm trying to think of like things I'm saying no to. I mean, I feel like I probably should say no to more, just generally speaking. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like not feeling like we have to do every social obligation and every trip and every sporting thing that comes up for the kids. And we honestly did a pretty good job of that this year, though. I feel like this year was the first time that we've like really empowered ourselves to just like say no sometimes. And I feel like people, I mean, at least our friends and family, like for the most part, they get it, you know, like everybody's so freaking busy and sometimes you just have to say no to protect your peace, like you're saying. But then again, we also suck at that because Peter and I both get really bad FOMO.
I was just about to say, I feel like you go through phases because
I definitely go through phases.
you do have I mean, you are just like a social person.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. This year have been better about saying no because I'm like, all right, I know my limits. I know what's going to set me over the top. I know it, but that's not to say that sometimes there's definitely things I've said yes to that I'm like, oh, why didn't I just say no to this? But
yeah, I need to have more structure at home with my older boys with like school. That's definitely not something I'm saying no to, but
like that you're going to work towards.
Yeah. Like we definitely have been really bad about just like, once they get home from school, we get home from work, we're tired. They just like chill and zone out and stuff, which is fine. I feel like after a full day of school, they need a minute to just like have some downtime and stuff. But it's then circling back on like being intentional about like reading or working through their schoolwork or looking at what they're working on or doing their like ST math or whatever, which I fucking hate. But I definitely want to be better about that because I feel really disconnected from that right now. And, my oldest starts fucking middle school next year, which is so crazy. And like school's getting kind of serious. I need to be like, I feel like I could be supporting him more than I am right now when it comes to like academic stuff.
That's a really good goal.
Yeah, I really do. Like the other night the thing is it's hard and it takes me back to like COVID when we had to like be the teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating sometimes, but I want to be more patient and work through like support him a little bit more at home with school because he's not like a straight A student by any means and that's fine with me, but I definitely feel like I could be like a little better at home with him.
I was just talking to somebody about this the other night and I was saying coming from like being a teacher and whatnot, it's like, I feel like I look at it from a different lens now.
Yeah.
Where like you were just saying like he's not a straight A student, whatever, but like that it's okay for not getting straight A's to like be the only source of like, how like check-in of how a kid's doing. Like while I think that it's important you need to learn these things for the most part, like they're going to help build upon. I also think that like there's just so much out there right now that like everybody has so many skills.
Totally.
And that almost school is a little bit behind.
It is.
Like,
it feels like that.
But I do think it's like you gotta like learn this stuff.
I think
it's a hard
that's
balance.
my thing. I think that's why I feel like I haven't been super like, let's sit down and do your homework, read a book or whatever. Because in my mind, I just so feel that way. And I feel like I'm so much more concerned with how he's doing socially and like how he's doing just with his own like self-confidence and those types of things. And I feel like when we just kind of like chill at night, those are the times when he kind of like opens up to me about that kind of stuff. I'm so much less worried about the academic stuff than like the life stuff. But also the academic stuff is really important. So like I need to be.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I
struggle because then I like think about, putting my teacher hat on. It's like I think about all the research with like reading and literature.
Totally.
Like,
I know.
It's so
I know.
freaking important.
I know.
But then it's like you said, it's just, I wish that, how people say like, I wish money grew on trees. I wish time grew on trees. Because it's like you said, sometimes it's like, I just want to let them relax.
I know.
And like, I don't know. It's a crazy game of like,
I know.
Where does the time go? Where do we find the balance?
Yeah, I think that I've just fallen into this like mindset of like I don't really care about his grades. I care more about the other stuff, but I mean, I need to not.
But that also
fully
could be because he's like just hanging somewhere in the middle. I think if he was like doing horribly, that would be like.
Yeah, which there was a point in time. I think it was third grades when they had that crazy testing. I got definitely a little more involved then because he was really behind at that time. But I don't know. It's so hard. I feel like again back to like the comparison thing. Like I feel very disconnected from like school and all the PTO things and just like even knowing what they're doing at school all day. But it's just the season I'm into and I can't guilt myself about that. The only thing I can do is try to be a little better about it. So that's my goal.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like we could talk for 4 more hours because
I know.
we haven't had podcasts, but that's our synopsis of what we're hoping that 2025 looks like.
Tell us what you guys are saying bye too.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I'd love to hear like, instead of everyone's like goals and resolutions. I want to hear what people are saying goodbye to.
And if it's just surviving, that's okay too.
Yeah.
If you're in that phase of life. We put like a story up a couple weeks ago, like, what are your intentions for the new year? And someone was just like, survive. And I'm like, that is so valid.
Fair.
So valid. If that's where you're at and you don't have some sort of, beautiful vision board or whatever, that's 100% fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, send us what you guys are hoping for in the new year. And we're going to spend some time today actually hashing out some podcast topics that we want to cover this week or this year and the next few months. So if you guys have anything that you would like for us to touch on, definitely send us a DM or an email.
Yeah, just not even like podcast. We're going to do obviously topics, but like filming, a schedule of how we're going to put things out, whatnot.
Yep.
I know this sounds crazy, but we were talking about before, like how when we're learning so much about podcasts and how like subscribers and all this stuff like makes a difference in the podcast world, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
But just honing in on like learning the back end stuff of it. So anyways, any feedback, any comments, questions, topics?
Yeah. Send them our way.
Send them our way.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Okay.
Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Unbuttoned.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review so you never miss out on our latest episodes. Use code UNBUTTON10 for an exclusive discount on CocoTheShop.com.